how World War I shaped the face of the planet. World War I, also known as the Great War, was a global conflict that took place between 1914 and 1918. It was a war of unprecedented proportions, involving countries from all corners of the world and resulting in over 16 million deaths. However, beyond the devastating losses and destruction, World War I fundamentally changed the course of history and shaped the world as we know it today. From the trenches of Europe to the deserts of the Middle East, the war redrew borders, toppled empires, and altered the way societies viewed war and technology. Section 1. The Fall of Empires. Before the war, Europe was dominated by powerful empires: the German Empire, the Austro-Hungarian Empire, the Ottoman Empire, and the Russian Empire. These empires controlled vast territories and influenced global affairs. However, the war brought about their collapse. The Russian Revolution of 1917 dismantled the Russian Empire, leading to the creation of the Soviet Union. The Austro-Hungarian Empire fragmented into smaller nations like Austria, Hungary, Czechoslovakia, and Yugoslavia. The Ottoman Empire, once a dominant power in the Middle East, was reduced to the Republic of Turkey, with its former territories divided between Britain and France under the Mandate system. The Treaty of Versailles and other post-war treaties redrew the map of Europe and the Middle East. The new map of Europe was a mosaic of small nations, many of which faced instability and conflict in the years that followed. Section 2. Technological and military advances. World War I was a war of innovation. It was the first conflict where modern technology played a central role in shaping the battlefield. The war saw the introduction of tanks, machine guns, poisonous gas, and airplanes, technologies that would forever change the way wars were fought. Tanks were developed to break the stalemate of trench warfare, while airplanes were used for reconnaissance and aerial combat. Chemical weapons, such as mustard gas, introduced a terrifying new dimension to warfare, leading to their international ban. On the home front, industrialization increased. Nations directed immense resources toward the production of weapons, ammunition, and supplies. The scale of production and mobilization during the war foreshadowed the total war strategies of World War II. Section 3. Social changes and the rise of new movements. World War I also catalyzed profound social changes. With millions of men enlisted in the military, women took on traditional male roles, working in factories, offices, and even on the front lines as nurses. This shift fueled the women's rights movement, with many countries granting women the right to vote shortly after the war. In countries like Britain and the United States, women's contributions during the war became a key argument for expanding voting rights. By the 1920s, women in many nations had gained the right to vote, marking a significant change in gender roles. The war also saw the rise of new political movements. Soldiers returning from the front were disillusioned by the horrors they had witnessed, and many demanded social and economic reforms. In countries like Germany and Italy, this discontent fueled the rise of authoritarian regimes in the 1920s and 1930s. Section 4. The Global Shift in Power. World War I marked the beginning of a shift in global power. Europe had been the center of world power for centuries, but the war left much of the continent devastated. Economically, many European countries were crippled by the costs of the war, leading to the rise of new powers on the world stage. The United States emerged from the war as a major economic power. Although it entered the war late, the U.S. provided crucial military and financial support to the Allies. After the war, America became the world's leading industrial power and a major player in international politics. Meanwhile, Japan, used the war as an opportunity to expand its influence in Asia and the Pacific. The post-war period saw Japan asserting itself as a military and economic power, setting the stage for future conflicts in the region. Section 5. The creation of the League of Nations. One of the most significant outcomes of World War I was the creation of the League of Nations, the first international organization designed to maintain peace and prevent future conflicts. Although the League ultimately failed to stop the rise of fascism and the outbreak of World War II, it laid the groundwork for the creation of the United Nations after World War II.
As we've seen throughout history, the world has been in a constant state of war, rarely finding true peace. Even today, while many believe we're living in a time of peace, the reality is that it's a delicate balance, a thin thread holding everything together. This balance can be broken at any moment. We must always remember that peace is not guaranteed. It's something we must protect, nurture, and never take for granted. Thank you for watching, and stay vigilant as we continue to reflect on the past to safeguard our future.